everyone, to the never-ending random discussion. I'm Andrew.
Ben.
Kat. Amanda.
Charlie.
John.
James.
And we're here to talk about things. Today is a good cast. We are seeing the triumphant return of Benjamin Honeycutt.
Hey, woo! How's it going?
Good. Yeah, I'm in his way. Reveal! He's back out of his hermetization to tell us about something exciting! Do the thing.
This is last week's.
He's not doing the thing.
I'm sorry, the thing?
Thing.
What thing?
The thing about the telling us the exciting news.
What news? Like, I'm here. I'm out of my hole.
He's out of his hole.
Your mind isn't blown by that?
Demon Hunters has returned.
Oh, it has, like a week ago.
Whoa!
Yeah, well.
It's been around. Demon Hunters is back. That's what shocked me about the news. Like, we are back.
Yes, and this won't be released next week. This will be released tonight. So
it was a very short 2 weeks ago.
Yes. So we're actually, anytime we mention a timeline now, it's accurate. I'm pointing at the mic. I should point at you people. All right.
What is Demon Hunters, Ben Honeycutt?
Oh, thanks for asking. Demon Hunters is a webcomic that I've been hired to work on. It's based on a college film made by Dead Gentleman Productions back in 1999.
It's awesome.
They are pretty cool. They weren't at the time, but they are now. Yeah, that movie. But the comic's good. The comic's great. I'm so proud of the comic.
Yeah.
And what's the website for it?
Oh yeah, it's www.demon-hunters.com because apparently demonhunters.com already exists. Not an endorsement.
Totally an endorsement. It's fine.
But no, demon-hunters.com is the website for us. Swing by, leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever, all the YouTube stuff they do.
Yes, I've actually met Scott C. Brown on Friday. I was a little starstruck. Anyone that doesn't know who that is, if you've seen The Gamer's Darkness Rising, hide behind the pile of dead bards! If that tells you anything. Super cool guy, though. I rode an elevator with him. It was awesome, and I had to explain who I was. But as soon as I said, "I'm this guy, I know this person," he's like, "Oh yeah, that thing." So it went well.
Yeah.
So it's nice that he kind of heard of us. All right, moving to the crux of the matter. John, would you like to lead us off?
Sure. Okay, so T-Mobile has said that they are...
No one Googled. No one Googled.
Has OK T-Mobile become a hot word now?
Okay, T-Mobile.
Okay.
Okay, T-Mobile. John is the only one who can set off my phone other than me.
That's
Because
hilarious.
John's a woman. Moving on.
Absolutely.
John and I's voice
So,
apparently
okay,
is
so
cool.
this is the T-Mobile story, so our views are going to differ.
Well, naturally.
It always does with T-Mobile. Okay, so T-Mobile is cracking down on people that are...
To be fair, we
quote,
both like T-Mobile.
Absolutely. We just have different opinions about some things. WRT, T-Mobile. She's singing along with the TV.
No, that's the
a
cat.
cat.
That's the cat. Is the cat singing along with the TV?
No.
So, Sprint put down a bid to buy T-Mobile a few weeks ago, and
That's totally not the story that we're talking
Yeah.
well, we're talking about T-Mobile, and that was
There's multiple T-Mobile
that's
stories
all I know.
in this. So.
Okay, remember that thought from a moment from now, but sooner.
We're going to agree about the whole Sprint
Yes.
thing.
Moving on to whatever we were actually not moving on from.
Yes.
Go.
Okay, so T-Mobile
Terrible at this.
has... Yes, you are. No, I'm not nice. T-Mobile is cracking down on people that are, quote, abusing their unlimited data.
Oh yeah.
By that, they mean, the only link that you actually added in for it. Good job.
No, I put two in. Put one in this morning.
Okay. So what it is they are slowing you down if you're using torrents.
Mhm.
That completely makes sense. I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, there are legitimate uses for torrents.
Yes, but no one ever does it. Like, okay, 3% of the people that torrent in the world. Oh, you're one of the 3%. 3% of the people that use torrents in the world are the ones that are doing it legitimately.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but, that is not enough of a percent to give the benefit of the doubt.
It's like,
Yeah, but it's just another one of those things that it's a little step that obviously it's a thing against net neutrality at its core. It's one of those little steps, and there's going to just be a ton of those little steps, and then 5 years from now we're going to stop
Sure.
and look back and go, what the fuck happened?
But the other end
Why is it
of
that I can only stream music from 3 providers?
It wasn't just torrent. 6. It wasn't just torrents. It was the basically people that throw CyanogenMod onto the mobile hotspot outside the data meter, which I don't agree with that, because I pay for this data. I should be able to use it how I want.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't agree with.
But see, it's the same logic that they're using for the
Where's
throttling people with torrents. I couldn't get torrents and hotspotting out at the same time. It's the same logic that they're using for that. It's something that people aren't explicitly paying for, that slows down their network.
It's a feature of Android. I don't think people should have to pay extra for it.
But that it's the same logic that they're using for that. Eventually, there are going to be other features of Android that carriers will be able to lock out, and if everybody just goes along with all of the stuff that they're doing now, it's going to end up really hurting the internet, especially the mobile internet.
Mm. Yeah.
oh man, like all the legitimate uses for Mega Upload before that got taken down.
Oh god, there were no legitimate. Okay, the
Man.
only thing I ever used Mega Upload for was downloading APKs that hadn't rolled out to everyone on the Android market.
I never used Mega Upload. Never, not once.
Mhm.
Oh boy, so mad that legitimate website got taken down.
All right.
So,
So,
on to more T-Mobile.
you remember that thing I just said?
My net
So
neutrality.
T-Mobile put down a bid to buy Sprint. I'm kidding. So Sprint tried to buy T-Mobile, and
Your idea probably isn't far off in the future at this point.
Give it a couple years.
but and thus coming with it the same early termination fee, which I love every time. This has happened with AT&T too, and I said that second it started happening, I said, one, the FCC is not going to let that happen. They've already made that very clear. I don't know what the fuck Sprint is thinking, because it's not going to work, and it's not going to give them good publicity. Like, pretending you're going to buy something doesn't make it look like you're a big person. Backing out of it makes you look like a fucking didn't even make it to the FCC.
Well, let's be honest. They've already fired their CEO.
Dan Hesse is gone.
Yes, and also to be clear, Dan Hesse was going to be gone if the purchase went through as well.
Oh yeah.
The plan was to put leg hair, Jean Leger. The plan was to put leg hair in charge of the combined company.
I like that guy.
Oh, I love him. His last name's just leg hair.
That man said fuck at a press conference a couple times.
More
I
than a
like
couple.
that guy.
He says fuck as much as I do.
Oh
for
god,
fuck's
it's
sake.
so awesome. It's awesome.
Okay, so
I've seen it.
what happened is Sprint was going to buy them, but now they've backed out and said, yeah, there's no way the FCC is going to let this happen. Duh!
Yeah, because the FCC won't let him be.
God damn it.
Ooh.
Actually, it wouldn't have been the FCC, it would have been the FTC. I can't even get that straight. Fuck, this is going well.
Federal Trade Commission?
Yes.
You get a gold star.
Right here.
Fuck that, commission.
So T-Mobile's getting a big fucking paycheck now,
Mm-hmm.
which I love what they do with that money. Like the last time, T-Mobile just
Yeah,
gigantic.
exactly. And another interesting thing is Sprint's new CEO is making all the right noises that they might actually not just be a completely terrible company anymore.
All the right noises.
Right after I left.
I don't-
Dang it.
Marcelo Clare.
The cow says moo.
How now?
His name is Marcelo Clare, and I'm going to avoid making Marcelo jokes with regards to like Pulp Fiction. What does Marcelo Clare look like?
Marcellus.
Yeah.
Yes, but it sounds close enough to work.
Sure.
So he is
You see
saying,
this joke? You see this joke? I'm James. Fuck your joke.
Fuck your joke. Oh, that's another really good one that I can use for sound synchronization.
Let's just synchronize it like 8 times. There.
Hooray!
So synchronized.
This hashtag professionalism.
80%.
Hash browns.
Hash browns, professionalism.
So the CEO has said that Sprint's network isn't good enough for the prices they're charging, so they're going to drop their prices.
Well, I'm glad they finally realized that they're not
Duh.
charging up for the prices they're charging.
Exactly. They're like, we're charging a lot of money and our network really blows.
You have the fourth shittiest network in the entire universe.
And
by
there's
fourth, I
only
mean
4.
last.
Yes. There's only 4.
You are the network that made it so I couldn't make phone calls from my own house in the middle of town. We live in a fairly large city.
That's kind of sad.
right?
And by kinda, I mean really.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm now on T-Mobile.
That's why Sprint started releasing Wi-Fi calling, because that was more common than you would think.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's been a very
that's
interesting when we're on
depressing.
Sprint. Like you're walking down the street and said, "Network is unavailable. Network available. Network unavailable."
Yeah.
Like I walked 2 steps.
Yeah.
I would literally be like full bars 4G LTE across the street, get home, nothing. Could
Even at
barely.
the front door, it's not the house.
Yeah.
You could stand on the front porch of our house,
Mhm.
clean sky everywhere, nothing.
Yeah.
She'd walk, up and down the street and make a phone call. Which
Yeah.
is why she's on T-Mobile now.
Yeah, Sprint just has a horrendous network. And chances are T-Mobile is now going to be the 3rd largest carrier real soon here.
Ooh.
They are growing, Sprint is not.
Hmm?
And no matter what things Mr. Marcello, I'm not confident on his
Marcello's.
last name,
Wallace.
Claure,
I don't think it matters.
but it's
Chlorine.
he's making all the right noises, but at the same time, their network is not going to be good for a couple years.
No.
It takes a long damn time to do network improvements, especially when you don't really have the money. Now, Sprint kind of has the money because they're owned by SoftBank, this huge Japanese carrier. So
Well, and
if-
T-Mobile keeps paying them all those cancellation fees.
yeah, no shit.
But that's,
Yeah.
$300 at a time instead of months
so,
and months.
so
of
SoftBank, if they're willing to invest money into it, there's a chance that Sprint might be a good carrier again in 2 or 3 years. But right now, man, that company is just not promising.
Well, they're promising a lot, they're just not following through with it.
No, I mean like the future of the company in the short term is not
Sprint
promising.
is like the blue balls of cell phone companies. It's just.
Actually, I think AT&T is literally.
Oh, I get it.
All right, let's talk about the Google Android and get the tech out of the way.
I'm so excited.
I am too. I'm just too hungover to be that squeaky. So the one gadget that John and I have been looking forward to the most this summer is being revealed on September 4th to be for
Yes.
sale.
And Best Buy, the
Just-
dipshits that they are,
Oh, I love this.
has leaked the specs and pricing already.
Oh yeah, we're confirming most of everything.
All of
we
us I had thought it would be $350.
Really?
I was
No,
convinced it would be $350.
It
You gonna
was.
tell anybody what you're talking about?
The Moto 360, I was absolutely convinced would be $350. Or, if they were going for a pun, $360. I was
Katrina just got really happy.
That'd be like more. I'd be more eager to buy it. Like, oh, they appreciate me.
That's exactly how I would feel.
My
So they
people,
should have
know where
named
I
it-
come from.
They should have named it the Xbox 499.
Yeah.
And now, without the Kinect, we've got the Xbox. Yeah.
The Xbox.
But so it's going to be $249, and in a move that's only going to be interesting to the really tech geeky amongst us, it has a different chip in it than the
Yeah,
previous
the
2
TI.
Android Wear devices.
Not the Snapdragon
Yeah.
4, but the TI.
The Snapdragon 400 that had been in the other Wear devices, the G Watch and the Gear Live, it's a phone chip that they just underclocked. It's not something that's designed to work in a smartwatch. It's designed to work in a smartphone. And so you end up with good performance and decent battery life. If they got a truly custom Texas Instruments chip in here, that could be a much better watch. It could be better battery life. It could be faster. I would love to see some really improved standby time. I don't know that it says how many cores are in it, but a quad-core smartwatch, which is what the Smart Dragon.
Smart Dragons! Where are you?
Where's your
Yeah.
necklace?
That's what the Snapdragon was, a quad-core in a watch. That's just overkill. Stupid overkill. And yeah, it's got. Oh, and it shows also that it has Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah. Did they not? The
No.
others didn't.
No, the others are
Oh.
only Bluetooth to your watch.
Interesting.
Now, both of the others have dormant Wi-Fi, They have the hardware for Wi-Fi, but it's not actually turned on.
Mm.
So that might be something that's coming with the update that's going to drop with Android L.
You know what else is coming in when they drop Android L? This guy.
Right?
We missed it. It was quiet, but it was there.
That's what she said.
What?
It's sex. You'll understand when you're a big boy.
I've done sex. I've done the sex before.
But yeah, it's a
He was like,
it's got a heart rate
There
monitor,
will be none of the sex here.
and it does have a heart rate monitor as well for none of us who care.
in case your heart goes, burr, 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 burr.
That would be amazing. I feel like your heart actually does that.
Probably,
We
yeah.
need
Yeah.
to put you on a heart monitor for 24 hours and see
Yep.
if that happens.
So my heart does go, burr, 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 and beat up nerds.
Oh, and they also did confirm that the back of the back of the watch is plastic. The part that touches your skin
Mm-hmm.
is plastic with a metal ring and then the glass on top. I know some people are really pissy about that. The back of the watch should be metal. It's still got the same waterproofing as the other two. 3.3 feet for 30 minutes.
A yard, then.
Yeah. I don't remember what the official rating is on it, but it's the same that the other two have. The plastic back is so that you can do wireless charging, so you don't have to deal with the shitty connectors that the other smartwatches all
Oh
have.
yeah, that little rotting thing that was burning people.
Yeah, the LG
that-
G watch, in case you didn't hear, was actually corroding and burning people's skin because they were running a current through their pogo pins even when it wasn't charging.
Just in case
Wow.
Well, you never know, I might.
Yeah, you're not going to get that with the wireless charging, and it's going to be apparently the same Qi wireless charging that, smartphones that offer wireless charging have.
I know that's how you're supposed to say it, but it does. Just,
What do you call it?
upsets
Quit?
me. Key. I always call it key.
How's
I
this
feel like I'm
spelled?
in a Dragon Ball discussion all over again.
Speaking of pronunciations, did you guys ever figure out Tizen, Tizen? Or is that still a running?
It's
Tyson?
I don't
I'm pretty
think I
sure
ever
it's
looked it up,
Tizen,
I just know
actually.
it's Tyson.
Okay, you guys just agreed on it eventually?
Pretty
No.
sure it's Tizen.
They're
Clearly
still
we're still
disagreeing.
disagreeing.
Clearly.
Okay, Google.
Just tried to
How do you
find it.
pronounce Tizen? Not Steven.
Really thought that one.
I feel like if you're asking
Who
it
cares what's
verbally how to pronounce something, you are liable to get an incorrect answer.
So, well, he tools down around about that. So, small news that probably won't affect all too many people, but I'm sure John has a entire speech built behind it. Google Play Music now limits you to 4 mobile device deauthorizations a year. It just means don't upgrade your phone
Okay.
more than 4 times a year.
For
No,
people
it's
like
worse
John
than
who
that.
break their phones 4 times or more a year, that's actually
So if
a
it
big
worked
deal.
the way you're describing it, that would completely make sense. I'm completely behind that. If it works the way you describe it. Right now, if you reset your phone, like you do a factory reset, that's another mobile device.
Oh.
I'm sure they'll fix it.
Yeah. If
That's
you
a bad
install a ROM on your device, there's another device.
See, that's Google just trying to put a stop to the over-ROMing, I'm sure.
If you if you have a tablet and a phone, well, there's 2 of your devices right there. If you upgrade both of those, that's 4. You're stuck. If you buy another phone, if you have to reset your phone, if you have to reset your
There's also
tablet,
the 2 initial
and
registrations.
if you had
then
some last
2,
year,
4, so 6.
if you upgrade, say annually, and you've got 2 devices, you're stuck.
Well, there's a 10 thing limit.
But that
you can
includes
authorize
computers.
for. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Or
You can only have 6 phones, which includes tablets. I'm assuming it includes the smartwatch. I know it includes Google Glass.
Oh.
If you have an Android TV, that's going to count as another one. It's really easy to really quickly fill out those devices, especially if you do a factory reset. You lose your phone. You don't know where it is. You run a factory reset. You find it later. There's another one of your authorizations.
what
gone.
I found interesting with the Google Play Music is if you download something, I haven't been able to find a way to download it and then use it as a ringtone or pull it up as like music on your phone or be able to use it as a ringtone on your phone. It made it frustrating.
Yeah, it's because of the way they've got it encrypted.
Yeah, it was like, I played Borderlands, I want Shortchange Hero as my ringtone. Make it so, damn it.
But yeah, if they fix this to where you don't have the problem where if you reset your phone, that's another device, then I'm okay with it. As it is, Once I hit that limit, I'm probably switching to a different service, even though I do think Google Play Music is the best service.
That does make it difficult.
All right, so we are about that time to take a break. What you audio listeners, not you guys, unless John decides to try to make it work, but as far as it goes, audio listeners.
There is one more thing I need to bring up to this. It is retroactive. So if you deleted 4 devices sometime in the last 12 months, and your devices are now full, you can't delete any. And you're not going to be able to for another year.
For you audio listeners,
Oh shit.
you are about to get kind of a double commercial. One of them is going to be a few special words from our very own Merlot Williams. He wasn't able to be here today, but he had a few things to say. And then normal commercials, but we will be right back.
What's up, guys? Merlot Williams here. I want to apologize to you guys for not being able to be on the podcast for quite some time now. Commitments away from Drakkarium and stuff at home has made it to where I couldn't make it for a while, but I promise you that I will make it as soon as I can and when I can, every time I can. This week I actually have a pretty good excuse because I've got an interview coming up that will be on the site here soon. And I also wanted to send my condolences to any family and fans that were affected by the death of Robin Williams. It's a really shitty thing that happened. I feel bad for him that he felt that that was his only way out. And I hope that his death inspires people, hug your family, hug your friends a little bit tighter. And make the phone call, send the text message, hit people up on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, let them know that you're thinking about them, especially if you think that they might be battling depression. Because I've dealt with people who've battled depression, and it's not something that just goes away. So, and again, if you just Google search the National Suicide Hotline, they've got people on there 24 hours a day and 7 days a week to help people who might be suffering with depression. So again, thank you, Robin Williams, for all of your comedy, all the lives that you've touched. Jeannie, you're free.
That's a sick beat, isn't it? Want to hear more? Of course you do. So head over to headyworks.net and check out Galaxy Labs. He created the track tickling your eardrums right now called Stamina, as well as our title track, Destroyer. You can find info about all his live performances and upcoming releases there, as well as other artists signed to HeadyWorks. You can also find him on SoundCloud and Facebook. That's Galaxy Labs at headyworks.net. Let the wubs destroy your brain.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break as much as we did.
We got a lot done with that break.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Thanks for weighing in.
Now we can sync it to my quack.
It wasn't a very visual quack.
Yeah, you have to be like quack. Sorry. So we all heard about the extremely sour news that we got recently. It was part of the reason why you didn't see us for a while. And in the lieu of that, Robin Williams has passed. And we're not going to talk too much about it because it's sad. We miss him. It's stupid. However, in the news, Blizzard has subtly agreed to kind of a crowd, change.org petition to have Robin Williams immortalized in the game somehow. We don't know yet how, but they have alluded that they're going to do that. He'll be forever part of the World of Warcraft universe.
I didn't realize he played.
He is a geek.
Oh,
His daughter's
he
name
does.
is Zelda.
Well, no, I knew that, but I didn't realize he
Yeah.
played World of Warcraft until I read that article.
I
And
think he's actually done a commercial for them before.
Yeah.
well, he's done commercials for a lot of things that I'm sure he didn't give a crap about. So, because he's a celebrity still, and that's what they do. But yeah.
Yeah, but he gives a damn about being a geek and being a gamer, and he was one of us, except a
Yeah.
lot funnier.
Mm-hmm.
I think James is having a seizure. I'm not really sure why.
I just want to say something.
Okay. Seizure unnecessary.
Just speak.
Okay.
Well, I didn't want to talk over anyone.
That's what everyone else here does.
Yes. There's a.
You can't not do what we do, otherwise you will not speak.
Yes. There. Speaking of the Zelda connection, there's also a petition pending to get him into one of the next Zelda games as well. Because he's
cool.
a well-known
Really cool.
Zelda geek.
Right.
And Nintendo is kind of wishy-washy on if they'll do that.
Yeah, Nintendo's not really good at listening to their fans, so I'm not sure about that.
Not their American fans.
At the same time, though, I mean, like as much of like even if I loved Zelda or something else, and if I became very prolific with that, and then I died under sad circumstances, I wouldn't expect them to change their franchise or just if it's really subtle, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like for everybody to demand them do it, then that loses its meaning a bit, and it's kind of. I don't know. It's like, I mean, Robin was a fan of it, but he never asked, like, hey, you know, I want to be a part of this when I die. Like, I don't think he would have expected it to happen.
I feel like if people weren't asking for it and it did happen, it would have a lot more meaning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If Nintendo, like, if the game came out, like, especially if Nintendo didn't announce it. Because if you announce it, we're honoring Robin Williams, and then the game comes out, like, you know that's for sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if someone was playing and they uncovered, like, and they flipped over, they flipped a bush or a pot or something, and like a robin flew out, or you know, there's some kind of connection, very subtle. Like, wait a minute, there's a robin sitting
Some
on that
NPC says
tombstone
one of his
that says
lines
Williams,
somewhere.
or yeah, exactly, like something that is not actually explicitly stated.
Yeah.
Or if a character kind of looks like him and his name is Rob, even that is a little.
I mean, it
little
also
too far.
depends on like the medium, because when you have the Zelda games, like a linear storyline
Right.
with your plot, whereas World of Warcraft there are subplots and adventures and stuff like that, but you also have your stationary NPCs that are staple of the game.
Like in World of Warcraft, you have Mario and Luigi hidden in there. I mean, they can just do that shit, because who will find it?
We got Mario hidden in the Assassin's Creed games too.
I mean, even with the World of Warcraft thing, I really wish that they, instead of saying that they were going to do it, I wish they would have just done it and let people find it.
Yeah.
And that way, it's instead of being a
and
news
they
story,
may
it's
still
an actual tribute.
they
to
may
other
still
people.
do that
Yeah.
because they haven't specified how
Yeah,
it's.
but the fact
going
that
to
we're
come
aware
about.
of it is,
Yeah.
I think,
Well,
is
yeah.
already too much public. Because now people are going to be like, oh, well, I want to like resubscribe and see what this tribute is. Or,
Right. Well, it's
I-
Blizzard, so they're.
Yeah.
Money.
I just think it would have warmed my heart a lot more if someone said on Twitter, like, hey, did you guys notice this thing?
Yeah.
And everybody starts talking about, holy crap, Blizzard just honored Robin Williams, rather than Blizzard's going to. Is everybody aware of it?
Mm-hmm.
Is everyone subscribed again? Good.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of.
Oh, wait,
It's
so the YouTube
it's nice
videos
for them
are-
to honor him. At the same time, I think it's a little kind of like, oh, well, do you think you're going to benefit from it a little bit? Like, that seems
Right.
a little shady. It doesn't sound outright despicable, but it does sound kind of convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. But I do think what Katrina was saying about it being so much easier to add that into World of Warcraft than into Zelda is a huge part of that. I'm sure that's part of what the Nintendo people are looking at too.
I mean, if you were playing the Zelda game and you happen to across a shopkeeper who had the mannerisms of Robin Williams and you just called him Mr.
Or
Williams,
if they
like,
replaced Tingle with Robin Williams, that would be cool.
I mean, there
Hey,
are
Link,
things
you
like
know
that, but instead of like shoehorning in, because then you're also saying to this creative person who this is their work, this is their art piece, hey, something pop culture happened, shoehorn it in.
Yeah.
I mean, as sad as it was, we're all really depressed about it. And just compromising your artistic vision to fit the pop culture standards
Mm-hmm.
is really depressing in and of itself.
On to a lighter-hearted note.
Yeah, we should move on to monkeys.
On a lighter note, puppies are getting cancer.
Have you seen the picture of
Sorry.
That's my everyday, man.
True, man. Puppies do get cancer.
Yeah.
With animals.
You monster.
Stop making it real.
Monsters get cancer too.
And I like to think about it on my days off.
Have you seen the picture of the monkey taking a selfie of itself?
Oh my god, I love it.
Oh, and the entire argument about the copyrighted.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this guy left his camera sitting around, and a monkey came and picked it up. Took pictures of it. Most of them were crap, but a couple of them were selfies. And one of them is the most perfect selfie I've ever seen, where this monkey is
He's just grinning his
grinning
ass off.
at it. It looks like a selfie. Wikimedia which is the parent nonprofit, I guess, of Wikipedia, has refused to take this picture down despite the photographer's requests because they say he doesn't own the picture. He didn't take the picture. Yes, it was taken with his camera, but everything regarding the lighting and the focus, etc., was done by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And on the face of it, it seems kind of ridiculous. Well, obviously a monkey can't own it, so it's public domain.
Yeah.
Where do we draw that line? I mean, if you drop a camera, and this is just direct lift from another podcast I was doing. If you drop a camera and the shutter hits the ground and it goes off then, who owns that picture? Is that public domain too because you didn't have your finger on it?
Yeah, did I break the camera or not? Is it my camera?
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like, Maddox was actually talking about this on his podcast, The Biggest Problem in the Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to agree with him 100% on this because if a child were to create something, he would not have any legal rights to. We have parental guardians. We have legal guardians.
Yeah.
Because a child is not able to, read contracts and understand their best interests. And so, how can we expect that a monkey would have any more rights than a child would?
Well, I mean, it's also like if you have really nice drawing pencils, but someone else uses them and draws something, do you own that picture?
Now, see, that is someone else. That's another human. Like that's an adult with their own representation,
art,
creating art. And so it's like, sure, you own the tools. Maybe you could sue them for the use of your materials, but that picture is still
They could
theirs.
give you
But here it's like
10%
the guy's
of
camera.
profits or something.
I would say that
Don't want to sue that monkey.
I would think the rights do revert to the owner of the camera just because he picks it up and it's.
But what happens
he
then?
He did put all the pieces into place to make that.
What
happen.
happens then if you've got, say, one of the camera rental services, and you've got it set up out in public on a motion detector, to where when someone walks in front of it, then the picture goes off.
I would think the person that made that setup, whoever put the work into creating that situation to happen, would then own everything that happens because of it as a direct result.
It's a really interesting question that has a lot of
Also,
really
that
complex.
guy's a stalker, but
I own
I
this
feel
picture.
like maybe the police should get involved into that.
Because obviously, if a person were to pick up your camera and take a picture with it, that would be theirs.
Mhm.
Even if they stole your camera and took that picture, you wouldn't have rights to that picture.
Right.
Why
You have
does
rights to the camera.
I wouldn't ask for the picture, but yeah.
Well, he
does
might have
this
just
guy-
taken the most fantastic picture.
Yeah,
Why
I
does
think
this
that.
guy want the picture taken down? That I don't
Because it's
understand.
far and away his most successful picture ever, and he's not getting fucking anything for it.
Mhm.
He's getting no money for it. It's
There's far
all
too many
over the
people
And
internet.
as a content creator, I definitely agree with him. Like
Yeah.
if I left my tablet out and then a monkey
Mhm.
came along and drew something on it and then I released it, I would like to think that that is mine because
Mhm.
I'm the one that brought this monkey in and I set this.
Yeah.
God damn it! This looks like a monkey drew
That
this.
monkey would
do
not-
it again.
I'm just saying monkeys don't draw things in nature. Monkeys don't
Yeah.
take pictures in nature. Someone had to
I
create a
think
situation
that right
where
there
art was
is
created.
yeah. I think that right there is the defining line for this. If he was out drinking with his pals and he sat his camera down and forgot that it was there, and the monkey took the picture, that's
he
a
was
blurry
actually
line. But
there,
if he
though.
took the camera and he set it up in such a way that he knew that the monkey would be able to use it, if he made the shutter button shinier, if he sat it there and showed the monkey how to use it, if he did things with it and then the monkey picked it up and imitated him, absolutely, he owns that picture.
Yeah, because
I
he
don't think
created
he did.
that.
But if he
specific
like
situation.
accidentally just sat it off to the side and was just busy doing something else and the monkey ran off with the camera and started taking pictures with it, that's a blurry line, and I
See,
don't
yeah.
know what the answer to that
And
is.
see, right there, I think that the rights should revert to the camera owner at that point because who else is going to own it? But I mean, the monkey's not going to own it.
Mhm.
Right.
And so somebody
Yeah.
has to own this image just for record keeping.
Well, they're just saying it's a public domain image now.
It should just be
Oh, I
public
don't know.
domain at that
You know?
point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the monkey's not going to own it. But they're basically saying this is public domain. And I can definitely see the argument for that. The guy didn't take the picture.
Mhm.
He didn't set it up to have the picture taken. This is a thing that just happened as a happy accident.
That is true.
So
Just because something cool happened near him doesn't mean he's responsible. or
exactly. I
gets
mean,
credit for it.
if we're talking about it's because it was set up because the guy had the camera there, and since it created something conducive to the picture taking, then at the same point the guy that drove him there, his guide could
'cause he
easily
created
say
the
the same
situation.
thing. I created this situation even more than the guy that brought the camera did.
At the
So
same time,
obviously this is my picture.
At the same time, if he was reimbursed for the trip, then that his involvement
Mm-hmm.
has been reimbursed.
Yeah. It's a very interesting question, and I have no idea what the final decision is going to be. And honestly, if anything is going to happen to where the picture was taken, whatever that jurisdiction's judge says with regards to copyright, who the hell knows what that's going to be?
I think we should get the monkey and the photographer to both take their own versions of the same picture
Okay, that'd be awesome.
and delete the original, and then the problem's solved.
Just have the photographer.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't think photographers should really get paid anyway.
Whoa!
Ooh.
You're really lucky TJ's
Oh shit!
not here
Stephanie
right now.
Areno battle draw. Shots
Wow.
fired.
I mean, not really, but I don't think you should expect to make a living off of it.
Yeah.
Okay, clearly you have no
You're
idea what
saying
goes
very
on.
Well, here to
Really
soften it,
right
I
now.
won't soften it.
I
Yeah.
actually think I just heard Stephanie scream in rage, and she is on her way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She left the wedding she was shooting right now.
I think she actually posted something on that about what people's view on photography is and
Yeah,
what
was
it is,
recently.
and that you do have to be careful about who you hire. Look at their credentials, look at their portfolio, ask them impertinent questions. If you are familiar with Photoshop, like, hey, do you know how to use Photoshop? Are you going to throw my image to MS Paint and like, woot, and then just, hey, there's your wedding photos.
They're gonna call back like, why does my wedding photography look like a comic book?
Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into photography, or
There's a
you
lot
know,
of equipment.
anything with cameras.
Time.
I mean, like for instance, sometimes you have to set up a white sheet and some shop lights.
I don't know what he's talking about. We heard that might be a good idea to try.
Do
but
you see any white sheets? I don't know what he's talking
This ain't no clan meeting. We don't got no white sheets.
What the shit are you talking about?
Jesus Christ.
We're also all for equality, so there are no white sheets.
Yeah, they're just sheets.
We don't notice things like color.
I'm colorblind. Literally, it's debilitating. So.
So you want to see what gets pirated most in your state? Movoto has compiled a neat list to show you.
I like this list.
Really? I wasn't.
Have you looked at the map? It's actually kind of funny.
Do we have the list?
I would be terrified about Portland.
Oregon is
Probably
FIFA
artisanal.
14.
Really?
Yes.
It's not where I would have gone.
Washington is Watch Dogs.
Okay.
Isn't that most of the country?
Idaho
It
is Sims 3 Island Paradise.
Which
Oh,
Wow.
I was in
And
Idaho.
Montana
Idaho.
Sims 3.
I was in Idaho, and I'm not surprised. Like all of them play Sims.
Watch Dogs is far and away like the dominant one right now.
It's a great game, I'm told.
Oh man, if only those were sales.
Texas is
Right.
Gary's mod.
Yeah. Why would you? That's like $5.
Yeah.
The hell, Texas?
Arizona is Need for Speed Most Wanted. New Mexico is Dark Souls. After this, I'm kind of getting difficult with my shape identification. There's a lot of fucking
That
squares,
one looks like
man.
a boot.
Is that
That
Alabama?
boot,
The
let's
Sims
play
2?
Sims.
Yeah, yeah.
The Sims 2.
Which is now completely free on Origin.
Louisiana, Scribblenauts Unlimited.
What's Utah?
They're still learning.
Utah
down there.
is
Watch Dogs.
Is that the Dakotas and
Rise of Nations.
Elder Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls,
Both
yes.
Dakotas. That's awesome.
Hmm. And then Nebraska is Wolfenstein.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Also, a
Well,
game
you
I
need
heard
to
was
have something to do in the Dakotas when it's wintertime.
Yes.
I love that most of
Suck.
New England is just
New
Watch
York
Dogs.
is FIFA 13.
And it's surrounded by watchdogs.
I like that Oklahoma is Naruto.
Right.
Yes.
Just right in the middle of the country, the big white blob.
Rhode Island is Goat Simulator.
Yes.
Say,
Those
Idaho doesn't,
roadies, man. Those some weird people.
I like how
say, Idaho doesn't need a simulator.
one of those New England states is just Minecraft still. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Well, that was fun.
That doesn't tell you anything really useful, but it's just a fun story.
I think it's kind of.
I hope everybody has this list open as they're watching the segment.
Show notes.
Show notes.
Like, okay, yeah, put a little note up, like a little flashy blink, like open the list now for the next 20 minutes.
I think it's kind of ironic though that the most pirated game on here is the game about hackers.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think would happen?
I'm not sure that's really super ironic or just like completely expected.
The art imitating life or life imitating art? One of the two?
I hope some of them parted with their phones just to really hype up the irony of it. Because
I'm gonna skip
Well,
ahead.
then they got throttled if they were on T-Mobile.
I'm gonna skip ahead. We're gonna talk about SpoCon because SpoCon is today is the last day.
Yes.
It was all this weekend. I spent.
They're going to give them some really nice, really late publicity.
Yeah, well, they are.
Go next year.
They're a continuing thing. Next year is supposed to be big, but that's all we can say about it. And but no, I had never been to a convention before. I had never been to anything like this before. I have never been in a group of people, of that many people, that I felt immediately at home. Not awkward.
Right?
I can talk to everybody. I can be weird because it's not weird.
You can be weird and people will stop you and go, why are you being so normal? Yeah.
It's like, I totally understand everything you just said to me. Really? Because if I were with anybody else, I'd feel like a jackass for even trying to make a reference like
This kid
that.
is dressed up as a character from season 1 Doctor Who.
Yes!
Yes.
There was a little boy and his mom, and he was so proud of himself. He made a TARDIS out of a refrigerated box. His mom
Nice.
dressed up as David
Amy.
Tennant,
Oh.
and he was
Huh.
the TARDIS. And he walked around and he goes, "It's kind of lonely in the box, but I'm so proud of my TARDIS."
That's so cool.
oh my god.
On the other hand, for all the Disney people, my mother was working my mother and father did registration, and this little girl was so excited. First convention, she dressed up as Elsa.
Sorry.
And she walks up to registration and she's trying to write her name on the board, and my mom gets up close to her and goes, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And this little girl freaked. She goes, "You know my song!" Her mom's like, she goes, "Do you know the summer one too?"
I'm actually a little surprised that there wasn't a sing-along that randomly broke out.
Right.
Yeah, when well, it kind of did.
During the masquerade a few different times, yeah.
Kind of did.
The Imperial March, for some reason, we all were... like the entire audience and MC and everybody were all...
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, it was...
It's the immediate feeling as you walk in the doors, you're like, these are my people.
Yes.
I'm home. This is my homecoming.
So you had a different feeling. I walked in, I'm like, oh, I want to beat up everyone.
But I've been going to conventions since pretty much I was born. I met Dean Koontz when I was like 3 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
How sad is it that she was too young to actually
Right.
like revel in his awesomeness?
Yeah, I do. I don't even remember it because I was 3 months.
Well,
But
yeah, if you did, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would be awesome.
Yeah,
So I've had way
you're
too many
already
concussions
awesome,
to even
so.
remember what I had yesterday for breakfast.
Oh.
But
And then he wrote a book about the 3-month-old that couldn't remember anything.
But I mean, I've been in the con world for so long. It's a very large part of my being and my life. It is a big part of who I am, and I just love every aspect of the convention. I mean, even in the lulls, where you are in between panels and there's really nothing to do, to just sit back and just watch, and you can watch as Thor supersized walks by. Or you get the guy who dressed up like the guy from Gremlins, or your
That one was so awesome.
or Rocket Raccoon goes running by. It's fun.
The Psycho.
Yes.
Oh god, he was so good.
The sophisticated
Psycho.
He was fantastic.
Oh,
Totally
God.
deserved best of show.
Yeah, he comes out. He's in his Borderlands Psycho gear. You know, saw, glowy face mask, everything. Just rips the face mask off and then sings. I think it was a Frank Sinatra song, something like that.
No, it was Royals.
Oh right, no, yeah, but it was in the style.
It was
of
in the
Frank
style of it. It was the postmodern jukebox YouTube channels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with the creepy clown in it. Yes.
And yeah, he totally. It was
And
amazing.
the masquerades are usually like the biggest part. And the bigger convention that I go to in February is RadCon. And if you have a chance, I would definitely go. It's totally worth it.
Road trip.
Well, after this time, I would actually start doing it. Like before, I was like, oh, it's so far away. I don't even know if it'd be worth it. I've never gone. But after SpoCon, I'm like, I want to go to all the cons.
Yeah, it was my first con as well, and I missed a lot more of it than you did.
Yeah.
I only got to see the very tail end.
Yeah.
And this year was a really good year. And last year it was a little bit more difficult because they were in a transition. But this year they had very good guests, a lot of good panels. George from Face Off this season was on. I got the pleasure of being attending a panel of his where they did special effects, makeup, and prosthetics. We got to see scars being made, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." People come up and really cool, really interactive. They're more than willing to answer questions. There was another guy that does a lot of the mask making and prosthetics, whereas George is more of the makeup form. And it's very inspiring because they let you know that it is not out of your reach. Like, if this is something that you want to do, YouTube it. These are different resources. And George was like, I went to makeup school, but you can go to the school of YouTube and do just fine.
And well, I mean, on the other end, on the same vein of being accepted and being at home, is I'm there and I'm telling people about us, about the Drakkarium, and it's such a huge difference to tell people about it there and explain like our mantra of all geek acceptance and explain it there, and instead of getting kind of like the, oh, that sounds neat, maybe I'll whatever, or I got people shaking my hands and thanking me for trying to spread the geek acceptance and fun and laughter and thanking me and actually taking an effort to follow and contact me. I've got tons of people now that you guys are actually going to start. You're going to hear a few of them. We're going to have them on the Geek of All Trades. It's going to get refreshed soon. I'm very excited by this. Like, cons, do them. I mean, how can you say anything less? You're all geeks.
Do you think you guys are going to have a booth next year?
Yes.
Set up a table?
There is no doubt in my mind about that.
Now, is slightly off topic, is Worldcon part of SpoCon next year, or is it going
No.
to be a
No,
separate
it's
thing?
two different things.
Because that one I'm so incredibly beyond words excited for.
Yeah, they're trying to work out the scheduling so that they don't conflict.
Yeah.
Obviously, Worldcon's going to just be like, we're doing it this time, and then SpoCon's going to be like, okay, the weekend before, weekend after.
Well, I mean, like,
then a lot of the people who are working SpoCon are actually going to be helping with Worldcon too, just because of they go from place to place that they need backup and volunteers and stuff like that.
scheduling can be kind of a pain too. Just I mean, we got Gen Con going on at the same time.
Yeah.
As SpoCon this year.
Which is probably why we didn't get to see anybody from DG other than Scott. He wasn't even there for that. He was there for an acting panel, acting lesson panel. I don't remember what it was now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, everybody went down to Gen Con to debut Dark Dungeons and Humans and Households and Natural One. All the other projects they've been working on for so long. So it's like their big premiere, and then here's SpoCon saying, "Oh, we're also doing a con. Anybody want to stay in town?" But do you know anything about the numbers, like the attendance numbers this year?
By the end of the day, Friday, we were almost at 900.
Not bad.
nice.
And we had all day Saturday. And
Saturday was probably busier, I would imagine.
Saturday morning is usually the busiest. Then we get a lull, and then, believe it or not, we have a lot of people at the convention, or that come to the convention just for the rave on Saturday. Like at about 8 o'clock,
We missed a rave?
Oh yeah, there's always a rave. Friday night and Saturday night rave.
It was at the Masquerade, and it ended at 9.
Yeah, and then the raves are usually around 10.
Okay, I was partying. I didn't hear anything about a rave.
Yep.
It's too busy
Both
partying
nights?
to make
They
it to your
usually
rave.
clear out the ballroom where they have
Story
a
of my life.
masquerade. It's usually a con staple is the rave, and it's much bigger at RadCon. Also, much more epilepsy-inducing lights and strobes.
Can't have that.
But it's pretty much a staple of the convention is that you get people coming in like late night they pay $40 for the registration just to attend the rave.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nice.
But at the same time, I felt so bad because there was a family that came in. It was a dad and his teenage son and his 2 little sons, and they all dressed up as Doctor Who. They're all super excited to be there. And
Which was the theme this year.
yeah, and the registration, it's $40 for adults, 13 and up, because you pay for the membership. Because at 13 years of age, you have the mental capacity to go, I want to go to this panel, I want to go to this panel, I want to go see all this stuff. Whereas younger, I pretty much stick to with mom or dad. So anything like 12 and below is $5. So to get into the convention, I know that sometimes there can be financial straits, but he drug his kids there. It's on the website. It's posted at the thing, and then he proceeds to tell the registration people, it's your fault, your highway robbery, that I have to pay like $90, or I guess it would be $90 for all 4 people.
That's not bad.
And it's like, Worldcon's like $100 per person to get into. And I mean, you're there all day Friday, all day Saturday, part of the day is Sunday. And I mean, yes, I understand it can be a little bit expensive, but I mean, don't get your kids' hopes up. Get them all the way there and then say, no, change my mind, I'm going to get done. I mean, like, it's clearly posted. And no amount of heckling and cursing at the registration people. The registration people who are there volunteering, like, they pay for the registration, they barely get to attend the convention, and they are volunteering to make your convention a wonderful convention, and they're yelling at them.
To step back on the factoid that we were going on, the attendance is up to 1,050 total. So
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I think RadCon last year were up to 17. So, I mean, SpoCon's getting really big. I mean, I remember when we did the first one, and it was in the Shiloh Inn, and we had a couple hundred people, and we were trying to revive the SpoCon. And just a very, very little, tiny little convention, like 1 or 2 people panels, and there was like 3 people in there just talking about, oh, well, my character does this.
Oh god, the short-lived Ethos trading card game.
Oh yeah.
We had a panel about character creation and things like that. We had, I think we had 3 people show up for that panel, and Aaron couldn't even make it. I think Kayla sat in for Aaron, and so which is funny because now they're married. But yeah, so Kayla just sat there and pretended that she was an artist and like was bullshitting, like, you know, about like, oh yeah, the characters, blah blah blah. But people showed up to this panel just to talk about their own original characters to each other, and so we were just kind of up at the table or at the desk, like, okay, just talk amongst yourselves for an hour.
A funny like kind of thing you usually find at panels is that you have like usually 3 types of people. You have the quiet people that sit there and take notes and absorb. You have the people that are there to promote their own things, and are only there. Well, I mean, you probably glean some information and appreciate the panels and don't overspeak.
Oh no, yeah, no, we network my way through and
right.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have the people who are overspeaking, like, I should be hosting this panel because I know so much about it, and it's like, well, then apply as a pro and then go out and do panels. But don't sit there and take up all of our panel people's time talking about how great you are. And then you have the other people who are like, did you see my character? I have a character. And I have a story. Let me tell you all about my story.
This is my pony, and it's not Rainbow Dash.
But it looks like Rainbow Dash, but it's different because she's purple and not blue.
No, she's eggshell. And
she's egg crew.
She's periwinkle, not cerulean.
This is my pony. She's got cheetah print on her mane.
This is my horse. Isn't it amazing?
It's so old.
Give it a lick.
You just made a best friend.
She's like raisins.
You really just made a best friend. If there isn't a day he doesn't make a reference from that.
I've probably made that reference in a podcast.
I'm pretty sure I've had that song
times.
stuck in my head for 6 months because of you.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty much sure I drove my husband mad at once because I had Magical Trevor on replay and narwhals.
Narwhals living in the ocean.
And Kenya. Loved Kenya.
Right.
Everybody knows Kenya.
Forget Norway. We'll be right back.
So here at the Drakkarium podcast, we are dedicated to bringing you good, high-quality content. But we can bring you better content if we have better equipment. For instance, if we were able to replace Andrew here with Chris Hardwick, we would just have a better podcast. Alternatively, since I don't think we can quite afford to get ourselves a Chris Hardwick, we can get ourselves microphones and a mixer so that you can actually hear all of us, even when we have a volume disparity like Andrew and TJ. And so we've started an Indiegogo. To help us out, go to the link in the doobly-doo or bit.ly/DrackGo.
Welcome back, everybody! I think it's time we talk about science!
Okay, so who here actually likes Shark Week?
I liked it briefly.
I feel like Shark Week used to actually be cool like a decade ago, but also I might have just not known better then.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting story on The Verge about how Shark Week just completely screws over the scientists that are on it. Obviously. There were... Do you remember the Megalodon one from last year? Do you remember that whole controversy.
Yeah. Wasn't there a whole mermaid thing last year too?
Yes.
Probably.
It was amazing. I loved it.
But the Megalodon one was special terrible because they were basically saying that this shark that went extinct like 100 million years ago must still exist out there somewhere. And so they interviewed some scientists talking about
with Nessie.
talking about unrelated things, and then right at the end they'd say, "So what do you think about Megalodon?" And they go, "I think it's ridiculous." And they would cut in him talking about tiger sharks and how they totally exist from earlier as his answer. And that there's just a lot of this kind of stuff that's happening. There was a voodoo shark story from this year where they're talking about the shark that lives in the bayou, but there's no evidence of it. And they just cut a bunch of scientists saying things about other things.
Well, I know
answers.
for a fact that I have a living gremlin that lives in the walls of my house. There's no evidence of it, but it must be true.
Yeah.
Well, and there's the demon in the bathroom.
Well, that actually exists.
Yeah.
There is evidence of it.
What do you think about the demon gremlin?
Two different
It
things.
can't
Two different
possibly
things.
be real.
That's two different
things.
No, it's the demon gremlin shark.
Yeah.
That's three different things.
Native to your toilet.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Completely
and they did.
That's my brown shark. You leave him alone.
There was one about the USS Indianapolis that sunk towards the end of World War II, and survivors of the wreckage had like runnings in with sharks, and maybe a couple were eaten. And Discovery didn't think that the film was scary enough, and so they made them go back and reshoot a bunch of the dramatic scenes with more scared sailors and more CGI sharks.
So they're History Channel in it.
And yeah,
Dial it in.
yeah, it's Discovery Channel used to be so cool. History Channel was lost itself a long time ago, but Discovery is going so bad.
Going the route.
I honestly can only think of one good thing that comes from the Discovery Channel now.
Mythbusters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they don't let them.
Well, and also they don't pretend to be telling you things about science.
No,
They're
they
blowing
use
shit
the
up.
scientific
Yeah.
method to be entertaining and
Exactly.
You know what? Mythbusters used to watch it all the time, lost interest, and I think it's just a sign of the times. You know, the TV is going out the window,
Mhm.
on demand,
Yeah.
internet viewing is killing broadcast television. And so you see the Mythbusters and their horrible little skits. Like,
Yeah.
I love watching them do the things. It's like, it's the results I want to see, but their little in-betweens like, and
I feel
it's
like
throw the poop at the
painful.
fan. Throw
It
the
is-
poop at the
It's
fan.
so painful to watch. Like they're charismatic enough when you're letting them talk about something they care about. But when they're going through, oh hey, let's be entertaining and fake it,
Yes.
and have a little segment where we show our characters.
I
it
feel
is the
like
worst
every
television.
time that every 15 episodes or so has about 10 episodes worth of episode in it. That if they were to just say, okay, rather than testing 2 myths this episode, we're going to do 3, and just not do those fake character bits. Not do the, we're sitting around a blackboard figuring this out, and it's obviously extraordinarily scripted, is it not? If they were to just skip that stuff and go to the actual entertaining stuff that they used to do, where it's just like, rather than having a script, they're just kind of shooting it over Adam's shoulder.
But at the same
I'd
time,
be
you
in.
don't want to like Michael Bay it and like explosions.
Yeah.
I do like some commentary,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, but
it's
you
hard
use
to
actual
find.
But some real commentary,
Right,
not
right,
these
but-
staged like,
Right,
these are the points
but
we're
when
going
you
to hit.
introduce network television, it's like either or. They haven't found a happy medium. It's like explosions or.
I think kind of what I'm trying to say is I think they used to have that happy medium and they've gone away from it.
Yeah, their presentations
Yes.
are different. They're doing more of a like character-driven.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're not that interesting as characters. Sorry.
exactly.
And as far as I know, they're not actually a new episode on Discovery Channel. I think they are syndicated, but they've moved to the Science Channel where they're doing new stuff.
I think. So
I don't know.
they were just talking about their new season
Are they?
this season on Discovery.
Okay, cool. Because I was still watching.
Myth busted.
If I can find a free thing to drop in there, I will.
Air horn.
You know,
Myth busted.
You should. You just cut in that one little like clip that they use every time.
But they do have a new show that was really cool. That I'm not sure what the premise was, but there was a lot of like different aspects. So like, hey, this toy truck does this. Let's mega size it and destroy things.
I remember that one.
Oh, what's it called? Yeah,
Uh,
but it's like a different. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They did probably 5 or 6 years ago now. They did a really cool slow-mo show where they just showed like this is a dog shaking water off of itself at 1,000 frames per second.
See, that sounds like a YouTube channel, not a...
Yeah.
It actually is a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Is it?
I think that those people actually did go and make it a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of thing you'd want to watch on demand, not like tune in like, no, we gotta TiVo that shit. I want to watch the slow-mo
It was
channel.
kind of cool to have like, this is, because they didn't just say this is the dog. This is how we're setting up the shop. These are the things we have to go through. I found that really interesting, but yeah, I can see why it was canceled.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, like, there's so much more freedom with... I'm going to say something that we've known for years now. There's so much more freedom to do things on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's new commentary.
As long as T-Mobile doesn't fuck it up.
Yeah, it's basically like, okay, we're in this transitionary phase where, like, these things we're all saying is going to happen are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to be happened. I want the past tense to come. I'm tired of broadcast television. I'm tired of this awkward in-between phase. I'm tired of YouTube channels getting television shows. Like, that's going to be around for much longer anyway.
Yeah. The void that I used to use Discovery Channel to fill in my life, I use SciShow and Veritasium and Crash Course and
Veritasium's good.
Vsauce and all these other YouTube channels. They fill that need much better than Discovery Channel ever did or could.
Mm-hmm.
Veritasium's got 2 million subscribers. Vsauce probably has a similar number.
Yeah,
they got like 10.
It's just the removal of the rating system,
Mm-hmm.
just airtime and competing for.
Yep.
As soon as that's gone, people can express themselves in so many different ways. I mean, Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, Dead Gentlemen, that's their entire gimmick is fan-funded production.
Yeah, and with things like Patreon and Subbable, it's only
Demon Hunters has a Patreon.
Excellent. Good time to plug it.
What is that website for Demon Hunters Patreon?
It's patreon.com/Demon Hunters Comic. And if it's not that, Google it, because it's very similar.
It'll be in the show notes, guys.
Yeah, we'll make that shit.
Just going back to fun fact, Vsauce has 7.6 million subscribers.
Wow. I didn't realize he was that much bigger than the others.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's been around a while.
Yeah, he has.
It's like rings in a tree.
Please subscribe.
Except followers.
So
to his 7.6 million to our 13.
Yes.
Million.
Ah!
No.
We're on our way.
Ha ha ha! It's
Hey.
not true, and I do all.
What Dead Gentlemen did in Gen Con this year, we have these postcards with QR codes on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just passing out these QR codes.
Mhm.
So next year's SpoCon, Drakkarium, QR codes.
I
Really?
literally.
They're on the back of our business cards that
They
I've been
just-
handing out all.
But they
Do
don't
they-
work, do they?
Do they work now?
Myth
Some
busted.
do. Some do.
Some do. Some do. Okay, so I'm skipping ahead to another story here.
No Google.
Freaky.
What the fuck? Oh, we skipped that
Did
segment.
it search for what the fuck?
I can't say
No,
okay
it's a
anymore.
I don't know what's wrong with my phone.
Oh, it's the vegetarian.
You try
Google.
Googling it.
Yes, so have you heard, there is a bug in New York. I'm not going to read the headline from this site because it's
Gives it a
clickbaity enough that it pisses me off.
What this bug did in New York will blow your mind.
That's
Escape.
freaky New York insect does something incredible to people it bites.
And what happens next?
They
They'll make
can't
you
eat
shit
meat.
your pants.
They become Spider-Man.
It makes them allergic to red meat.
Yep.
Oh,
So if
shit.
I get bit by that tick, I will no longer be able to eat meat.
Yeah.
I can
Pork
never
is
go to
pink.
New York. That's true. I can eat pork, but I'm tired of already being cut down.
But yeah, this article on Policy Mic or News Mic or whatever one it is actually below their normal standard, which is not actually particularly high. But no, basically there's this tick that makes people, actually it says allergic to the meat of other mammals, so it does sound like you'd be fucked for pigs.
Yeah.
Just all meat.
That sounded way worse than I
Except
meant.
chicken. Except you can't have chicken. Turkey. Duck. Tuna.
But yeah,
Turducken.
can't have tuna.
There's Ken in there.
I can't have the Ken. I can have turder.
Turduck. You have turduck.
Tuna is so much funnier.
Turduck.
But yeah, so there's at least 200 people that have seen one allergist in the past 3 years saying that they can't eat meat anymore.
So what you're saying is that PETA is actually a evil genius scientist facility that created this bug.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the articles actually was titled something like that. It
It's
was
a
like
conspiracy.
PETA creates super tick.
It's only a matter of time.
Yes. Jenny McCarthy strikes again.
Oh shit. I do
So yeah, the way that this works is it's not a virus or anything. It's a type of sugar that is in this tick's saliva that when it is introduced into the bloodstream, it gets interpreted as a foreign substance and the body develops antibodies to it. That's a sugar that exists in mammals when you eat them.
Yikes.
And so if you eat them, your body goes, this is a foreign substance that I must send my antibodies to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah, the reports say that the people feel like they are on fire when they eat meat.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you what, I mean,
on fire!
This sounds
early morning. Early morning in the woods, I'm naked, covered in the blood of a deer, and my blood's on fire, too.
That's good fire.
Good fire.
Okay.
But yeah, so moral of the story is don't go outside. Just there.
No.
stay with your computer, man.
Is there anybody listening to this that planned on going outside?
Well, yes, because
Like-
we talked to a lot of people that play Ingress.
Yes.
No more Ingress, New Yorkers. You're gonna have to stay inside and just follow us all the time.
Yeah.
Just stay in the city.
I do
You should
love
be
how this
okay.
article ends, though, where it's so alarmist, where it's just like, so wear long socks, full-length pants, and something with sleeves. Put on some bug spray when you go hiking this summer. If not, there's a tiny chance you could become an unintentional vegetarian.
Which is, I think, worse than that.
Unintentional
I agree
vegetarian.
with that.
You're
It's
bad,
there.
man. Yes.
You'll never be able to adopt any bug on
Although, does bug spray work for ticks? I didn't
Yeah.
really think they were kept off by
Yeah,
bug
I
spray.
didn't think they were
Don't they
either.
just like drop off of a tree and land on you? They
No,
didn't
you can-
notice the bug spray till they got on you,
No,
and then they're like,
you
"Yeah,
can-
fuck
you
it,
can
it
buy
smells bad,
spray
it'll be
that-
okay."
Specializes in.
Yeah, that's what I do when I'm
Please,
choosing a
thanks.
meal. I smells bad, should be fine.
I'm sure there's a box they tick or
It's
something.
been in the fridge for like what, 2 weeks? It's fine.
Look, that was one time, okay? I'm gonna keep bringing that up. I ate some bad chicken recently. Leave me alone.
Okay, all it was violent diarrhea. I didn't throw up, so we're fine.
So it was like when I eat chicken.
Oh.
And
Oh,
welcome
I feel
to
bad.
Nerd Confessionals.
Today on N.E.R.D.
feel really bad
Confessionals,
now.
people eat chicken and shit themselves.
Oh God! I was gonna do something like that. You made me do it.
I thought that's what happened when Kentucky Fried Chicken and Taco Bell
This
like
just
merged.
in. White meat.
Oh, they just
Taco
called
fried
themselves
taco.
poop.
White
Aw,
meat
shit.
makes brown pants.
They've turned it into a sit-down restaurant because they know you need to be near a bathroom for the
Well,
summer.
Well, there was.
I don't
guarantee
want to
it.
know where the toilet pipes
I
go.
think somebody at SpoCon actually was wearing a shirt for them because it said "hot poop" on it. Oh,
All the seats were
Oh,
replaced
nothing
by
at Taco
glass.
Bell's spicy.
Yeah, not really.
it's not spicy going in.
Oh shit! Oh, Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box had this ghost pepper ranch chicken sandwich
God,
thing,
yeah.
and those are so good going in.
This is really delicious. Later. Ow! Where's it?
This reminds me of when I chugged an entire bottle of hot sauce on a dare. And it didn't hurt at first, but like
It's
an
Well,
hour later,
it's
A lot of that
slowly eroding your
capsaicin that
intestines.
slides in.
an hour later, I was
You're like feeling like, what is? Did I kill a deer? What is
That's like
My
the
body's
morning.
burning.
Yeah, it's
like
like the morning after I drank an
radioactive
entire
slurry.
bottle of Fireball. Here.
That was a good night.
That was a great
Oh,
night.
Lord.
Like half of us almost got arrested.
really good.
That's what happens when you pull a gun on strangers.
So
we get out of the house,
do you
damn
guys
it.
know what the you guys know about the Nazca lines, right? Down
Yeah.
yeah. There was a sandstorm and they found a bunch more that had been covered by sand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Look at the pictures.
Discoveries!
Look at the link in the show notes.
In the
And-
doobly-doo.
And look at the pictures.
Doobly-doo.
Doobly-doo.
Hat tip.
I'm not saying it was
That's
more
a great
aliens, but
when you
it was
when you
aliens.
put the link in there, make
And
sure that it
doobly-doo?
goes to Daryl
Where's
Dixon.
the aliens named Santa and the boobs?
Well, no, the Nazca lines. That's the original rationale behind it. It was like, how else could someone? Why else would someone? Never mind.
Boop. No, talk. I'm giving you background music because he put Darude in my head. Go!
That wasn't a stop beep, it was a
Yeah.
backup beep.
It was a techno beep.
Darudo is my favorite anime.
Naruto?
Darudo.
Oh. Jesus.
Dorito.
Oh.
We need to edit
Jesus.
all this.
James, are you?
I'm done.
So,
Giant jellyfish.
giant jellyfish.
Giant jellyfish. Now, giant is one of those link baity things because they're not actually. When you think giant jellyfish, you're thinking of a jellyfish,
God,
right?
they mean in comparison to regular jellyfish, don't they?
Jellyfish.
Yes, they do mean in comparison to regular jellyfish, but for a
I'm
jellyfish
I'm thinking dire fish here. Is
that's-
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
a jellyfish is terrifying in a small capacity, so a bigger one is even more terrifying, and apparently it's lethal. So
Of course.
It's
I mean,
arm
for
long, so I mean it is respectable when you consider that the tiny box jellyfish normally measure a cubic centimeter.
I was gonna say, like, I am not as terrified of a giant jellyfish that can potentially harm you as I'm like, I'm swimming along. What's that sting? Oh, this tiny little like badass thing is like, oh, I don't like you. You're dead.
Yeah,
I'll be dead in half an hour.
yeah.
Or I want to love you. Why do I kill everything I love?
No kidding. Yeah, the small ones are scary. I mean, their armor class is like 3 higher for being tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you get a
Huge bonus.
critical miss.
Well, and they've also said that these ones don't appear to have the tentacles that the box jellyfish normally would.
I guess it looks like a plastic.
But they're
bag.
not sure if that's just because they fell off when they caught
That looks like a shopping bag. Someone just like fell.
Yeah, when I first saw the story, I thought it was a story about how the plastic is disappearing from the oceans. And I was like, oh no, it's about jellyfish. Okay, nope, it's not because the whales and the sharks are eating plastic, I guess.
And of course, it's off Australia's coast.
Everybody else
Yeah,
sharks
don't
eat plastic.
go
More
to-
reasons to
apparently.
not go to Australia.
Sharks eat everything.
Yeah. Well, they had the Garbage Island, basically, that big ass thing in the middle of
It's
the
like a
ocean.
buffet now.
Yeah, and it's shrinking, and they don't know why.
I don't
And
know.
I'm like, really? You don't know why? Could it be that you're terrifying the entire world with environmentalist crap that people are actually starting not to litter?
Yeah, but see, it shouldn't be shrinking because it doesn't decompose that quickly.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so if
Oh,
anything,
they're
it
working on
should
it.
stop growing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe it's the megalodon.
yeah.
Maybe it's
yes,
just.
it's
I think
It
it's just
survived
that
on
some of it
plastic.
has finally gotten waterlogged enough that it's sinking.
yeah.
That seems far more likely to me than, well,
think
maybe the
that-
megalodon,
But
but other
Or
than that,
mermaids. Mermaids are using the building.
Oh, yeah.
Birds
The
go
David
land on
Goggins
it and
shark,
sink.
Shark.
yeah, the mermaids are using that so that they don't have leaks in their roof.
The mermaids are going through this like
They're making the
rustic,
little shell
shabby
bra.
chic, and so they're like, look at this never-ending like IKEA-sized brick. And
You're saying it's hipster Ariel.
I got more gems and pop cans aplenty. Smell
Did you
great.
just talk
It's
about-
a shelf.
You just talked about Ariel's jokes. That's amazing.
Well, you kind of can't miss them.
So you remember that question you had in the blooper video?
There were a lot of them.
That's why we don't have a Dickless
Why haven't we had a Dickless podcast? Why? Because we talk about jugs? Don't you guys do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not that.
There's
No,
all the
we talk
hooks on
about
the
dick
television.
jokes.
I forget they exist sometimes.
Dicks?
Jokes.
No. I'm always aware that's there because pants are uncomfortable.
Please silence your cell phones.
Oh.
What do we have more science to talk about? We got a few minutes left.
Yeah, and in the environmental strain that we sort of tangented on, actually.
Yeah.
tangential.
Spray painted solar cells are possibly going to be a thing that will help get cheap power on pretty much anything. So,
Spray painted solar cells.
yes.
How does that work? What's the?
They've been working on it for a while, I guess, and they've figured out, where is it? I forgot there it is. The trick is to coat an object in perovskite, a calcium titanium oxide mineral. It's inexpensive, like organic solar cells, but absorbs light nearly as well as silicone. So, technology isn't quite ready for everyone to use, but it's entirely possible that in the next soon, that they'll be putting it on everybody's roof and cars and pretty much anything that's outside, which would be awesome.
In the next
We're
few
gonna have to
minutes-
copyright that in the next soon as a Drakkarium phrase, and then start taking people to suit when they start saying it.
Yes.
In the next few whenevers, it'll happen.
Yes.
But yes, I mean it gets 11% efficiency, which not terrible, not fantastic, but at the same time, if you can just like spray paint your roof, that's going to be a lot more practical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or spray paint your whole car.
So if you get that kind of spray paint and you're spray painting graffiti, can you just say it's environmental activism?
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes in colors, so
That's alright, I'm a monotone artist.
Just a bunch of black dicks everywhere. No, it's first
You can
energy.
really say whatever you want as you're being put in the squad car.
yeah, that's true. But it will be held against you in court of law.
Which would be funny if it was a big black dick.
Yeah.
I was gonna make that joke.
Judge, why do I have a black dick on my face?
It's for energy efficiency.
It's part of the Miranda rights. You gotta read these things.
Well, that was fun.
That was.
Hot.
It is hot in here. So take off all your clothes.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's too hot, so we're going to stop talking. Also, because it is actually time to stop talking.
I wouldn't help him.
Great way to end the show, too. Big black dicks. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ariel's jokes.
Ariel's jokes.
That's right, baby.
I think
That's the
there's
way
a major correlation.
It's it's not
True story.
complete without
You should be
a.
all up on black guys.
It's not a complete podcast without dicks.
True enough. Alright, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Enjoy whatever time of day you've been here. Thank you, Ben and Katrina, for joining us finally. Make sure to check out the Demon Hunters. It's awesome. There's quite a bit out now, so if you haven't started, you've got a lot to ingest. Have a great day. Pans pending. Hey there, geeks! You may not know this, but we offer services. A lot of them! Do you like a computer like that? Or maybe flashier? Or maybe not as flashy? Computers aren't your thing. We also do mobile installations if you're in town. Things like car alarms, car stereos, keyless entry, remote starts. No matter what kind of geek you are. Sports geek. Cartoon geek. Video game geeks! We have them all! You can find all of that and the ways to contact us at Drakkarium.com. Drakkarium